Welcome to our EEP Power Up Scenario Mondays. I am happy that you're joining us today. Travisa Financial. No one serves first-time homebuyers better than us. And with our innovative loan programs, we are striving to make homeownership a dream come true for everyone. And this will help to create and build generational wealth for years to come. Our EEP program is something that is near and dear to my heart. I was worked over at the Tribe and the Investor. I helped develop this program into what it is today. And a few of the program highlights are 3.5% down for our ITIN borrowers, non-permanent resident aliens, which include also DACA. We have low and no credit scores program for this. So essentially, the credit scores can go down to a 580. And with those credit scores, we do require, in addition to the verification of rent, 1 month trade line. That trade line can be one that shows up on the credit report, or if there are no open and active trade lines, we can take an alt trade line. Also, if there are no scores, then we do need the verification of rent and then 2 alt trade lines. We have our 3 months bank statement program. This bank statement program with only 3 months is not only for just self-employed, but it is also for wage earner and 1099 employees. There is no source or seasoning of funds to close. Bankruptcies are also okay. If you have somebody that is in bankruptcy, you can go ahead and get their loan started. We can go through the entire process, and we just need to document that their bankruptcy has discharged 1 day prior to closing. All property types that FHA allows for, we also allow for. And then our seller contributions are up to 6%. And so the seller contributions up to 6% really help offset the funds needed to close for your home buyer. Now, how do we do this? How does EEP work? A governmental entity, which is a tribe, they go out and they will complete an FHA loan transaction on a home that is selected by your home buyer. And then simultaneously, while the tribe is signing on the FHA mortgage loan, your home buyer is entering into a homeownership finance agreement with a memorandum that is recorded on title, and this secures the home buyer's interest in the property. So this definitely gives them a little bit more feeling secure that this home is theirs. This home can be theirs on title in the future. They get a 1098 to write off the interest at the end of the year. They get to make whatever sort of improvements to the home that they want to make. In addition, there's a power of attorney that they get to turn on utilities, sign their kids up for school. So there's definitely so many benefits to this program that will allow them to have the actual home vested in their name in the future. Qualifying the borrower. As mentioned, we have many doc types with the 3.5% down ITIN to the 3 months bank statements for self-employed W-2, 1099, seasonal gig workers, tips that aren't claimed, people that are W-2'd but also have a self-employed job where they deposit all the money in the bank and perhaps they've only had it open for 12 months. So definitely a lot of options. There's different scenarios that you can run by myself, the account executive, come to one of our meetings and run by the scenario. Gift funds are allowed. Our max DTI is 50 over 60 and 12 months clean VOR. So to dive a little deeper into the ITIN competitive market, look at this comparison here. We beat all of the competitors in down payment amount, number of bank statements required, max DTI, and credit score, no score. For our EEP, we have amazing support system. We have a phone number that you can call at any time with, again, any sort of questions, scenarios, along with our dedicated email, eepquestions@travisafinancial.com. In addition, we have our account executives, Ben Slayton and Norma Summers, that are both amazing. And we want to be here to help guide you, lead you, walk you through the entire process from start to finish, and not only guidelines and scenarios, but operations. We are more than happy to conduct meetings with you, your processor, your ops team, to help explain the process and how the EEP program is to be submitted, how it's structured, and exactly how it works. It is time now for our Q&A, or if you have any sort of scenarios, I am happy to go ahead and answer any of those for you. So I have a good question here. Must all condos be FHA approved? And the answer to that is yes. When you're looking at a new home buyer and they're looking at putting a home under contract, if it is a condo, you definitely want to ensure that that condo is FHA approved. So I know one question that I do get a lot is, what is the process from start to finish? And I will say that typically the start to finish process is once a home buyer has a property under contract, and we've submitted the loan in TPO Connect. That is the platform we use. Typically, it's about 35 days. Now, of course, it could go a lot quicker, and sometimes it could go a little slower. That also depends on whether or not the appraisal or the home inspection require any repairs that need to be made prior to closing. So any properties that are built in 1979 or older, they do require a home inspection. In addition, when your appraisal comes back, if the condition is a C4 or higher, those require home inspections. And so one thing that I highly do suggest and recommend is, as soon as we get appraisals and home inspections in, to get those submitted immediately right away, so we can get those over to our underwriter to review, and they will determine whether or not any items need to be repaired prior to closing, or we can actually have an attestation form completed by the home buyer that just understands, acknowledges, and recognizes that there are some potential repairs that are being recommended that they complete within 12 months of purchase. So that's definitely a good idea to get those submitted. Can you elaborate on the FICO score requirements? The slide said one major bureau. Yes. So basically, we will take the middle credit score of 3, the lowest credit score of 2, or the only credit score of 1. So if by chance you pull and your home buyer only has 1 credit score, that's the credit score we're going to take. And then they only are required to have a 580 or higher with 1 active trade line that is reporting for 12 months that is satisfactory, or if for some reason they don't have any trade lines and a credit score, or they have one that has been closed, then that's where we'll need the alt trade line. Also, I do want to mention that with this program, they're very flexible at helping your home buyer get into a new home. They really want to see the homeownership dream come true. So if your home buyer has just under a 580 score, we can request exceptions, and things that will help get these particular loans approved are additional reserves, a lot of time on the job, additional money down, just, basically kind of your traditional comp factors, but reserves is huge. Do you recommend calling in with scenarios with the borrower or the property? Yes, because of the nature of this program, where we can request exceptions, there is the guidelines are a little more tricky than your standard FHA, where we allow a little different things than the traditional financing, a little more nichey. And so definitely calling in, emailing in, reaching out to your account executive is highly recommended if you have one of those loans that you're kind of you're on a teeter-totter where you're a little unsure, but you want to reach out and get the definitive answer. Another question is, would 401k and similar accounts count as compensating factors for an exception for score under 580? And that is yes, because we can use 401k as a reserve, but the amount that we can use for the 401k amount is going to be the same traditional as FHA. So we can't use the 100% vested balance. We can use 70%. But yes, absolutely, 401ks can be used as reserves for the under 580 scores. Your account executives, Norma and Ben, are amazing, and they can help with any sort of questions that you guys may have. Also reach out if you want to have a private meeting. If you want to set up a private meeting with your realtor partners, with your ops department, we are more than happy to set up private meetings that go over the entire EEP program, that go over the start to finish of submissions. And we're just all around, we want to help you succeed with the EEP program. And so we're definitely here for you guys. I thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back on Thursday for our Deal Desk Thursdays, and this is the same time. Thanks. Have a great Monday, everybody.